Hey, what's up everyone? The Ninja Guy Don back with a more advanced tutorial on flying choppers in Ghost Recon Wildlands. I have a camera set up here so you can see the controller this time, and we're going to go over some things that I learned since my last video going over this. And just right out of the gates, you guys don't really need to hold L2 as much as I had initially thought in that previous video. It's really going to be R2 and the left stick are all you're going to be really using. There are times where pressing L2 and R2 at the same time can be helpful, but really isn't that necessary. Let's go ahead and hop in this chopper, and obviously when you take off, you're just gonna R2 and pick a direction and just start flying, pressing forward on the left stick. And one thing you need to know is the chopper basically has like an autopilot to where it'll automatically level out once you hit a certain altitude, depending on like where you're at. So right now, I mean, we have pretty good speed and we're flying down this road here. I'm not holding anything except for R2, but as you approach mountains is where it kind of gets the most tricky. And what you really need to know about that is you need to have good speed coming into a mountain range is the first thing you need to know. And then all you really need to do is pull back as you climb the mountain. We're going to try I was going to try to fly under that bridge. I don't like the angle. Let's see if we can, there's a pretty decent sized mountain range ahead of us up there. So let's go ahead and see if we can sneak under this bridge here. That's close. And I will use the right stick just to, for different camera angles and also to see if I'm going to be able to clear a mountain range or things of that nature. But we're going to go approach this mountain over here. But the key is you need to have speed coming into a mountain. And then what you need to do is just pull back on the stick. And see, as I'm letting off the stick, see how it automatically kind of levels out and will kind of rock forward a little bit so that we don't lose speed. Let's get to the bigger part of the mountain here. All right, let's see if we can get this. It's going to be close sometimes. It's just, you're going to learn with time like what you can and can't do. We'll approach the smaller part of this mountain and see if we can quote unquote climb it. And here we go. We're just going to pull back on the stick. Sometimes you'll let off the stick and then push it back again, just depending on like where you're at on the mountain. And then as you approach the top of it, you're actually going to let off the left stick to keep your speed. And it's really that simple. Again, though, at the end of the day, there's no substitute for practice. You're just going to have to put the time in to learn how to fly, basically, right? Airplanes, I don't spend too much time in airplanes, but the airplanes really aren't that bad once you get used to it. The trick about the airplanes is you just need to make sure that you are only kind of tapping the left stick a lot of times when you're turning and stuff. But if you guys feel the need to have an airplane tutorial, I can try to do one, but I don't spend a lot of times in planes. And I think they're actually more simple than the choppers. And you're probably going to spend more time in a chopper. Let's get close to this mountain here. We're going to pull up. Pull back on the left stick. See that? We're just climbing it. And then we're going to let go as we get to the top of it so we can get more speed. And then we're going to push forward again. And I do, when you're maneuvering, I do use, left on and right on the left stick to go in between trees and things like that. See, a lot of it's just pulling back and then letting off the left stick. But I mean, right here, I'm just holding our right trigger. Now, if you're playing co-op and you need to drop somebody off or pick them up, I mean, it's just going to take practice. Let's pick a building over here. We're going to just land on the roof. Okay, so I'm letting off pretty much everything. And sometimes you're just going to have to learn, I can't really explain it to you. You're just going to have to learn how to land and how to balance it out, like where you want to go, where you need to turn. And again, I'll use the right stick just to get a better perspective on things sometimes. But I mean, let's say hey, I'm going to pick you up on this wood building over here. It's just spending time playing and learning, like I said, what you can and can't get away with. I mean, there's really no substitute. Like I said several times, there's no substitute for practice. When you're flying under bridges, it's definitely, I mean, this isn't a very low bridge, but it's definitely good to, you know, just to make sure. Sometimes you might want to pivot the camera, make sure, oh, this one's small, a little lower here. Pivot the camera to make sure you're going to clear it. But yeah, the main key is, you know, it's the mountains, and learning when to let off the stick, when to pull back. Let's, this is a pretty decent one here. But yeah, it's, so like right here, we're gonna pull back right as we approach it. We're gonna let off. We're gonna pull back again. We're gonna let off. Okay, so coming up behind me here, there's a pretty good mountain range that has like a river going down it, or a stream. And we're going to go try and climb that. So we'll get some speed coming. We'll turn around real quick here. And let's see if we can make it. This one's not too bad because it's not too steep. Alright, so we're going to try to get as much speed as we can. We kind of don't really have a whole lot coming in. Alright, so we're just going to pull back on this stick. Right here. Let go, pull back. If you get the right amount of speed coming into a mountain, you're not going to have to do this. The key is to not have it rock on you. Once the chopper starts rocking back and forth, that's when you start to lose all your speed. So it's more about just pulling back and letting go, because it's going to automatically go forward enough to give you enough speed. Alright, so we're going to try to climb this mountain right here. I've got as much speed as I possibly can, and we're just going to pull back on the left stick while we're holding R2, or right trigger, and then we're going to let go at times. You know, you can use the camera to kind of get a better idea of like when you're going to need to pull back. Yeah, we did lose a little bit of speed, but that's okay. It was a pretty decent climb. So basically, I don't know what more I can show you to help you guys out. Like I said in my previous video, like I'm not the expert, but I do know that there's a need for people that could use assistance with flying choppers in this game. So I wanted to take the time to help people out. That's what I'm all about. So yeah, I guess if you have anything to say or have any questions or comments, drop a comment on this video, and we'll be sure to I'll try to respond to most comments that I can, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. And yeah, I guess we'll see you in the next one, or in a live stream or something along those lines. Again, I thank you guys for taking the time to check out my channel or videos, and yeah, good luck out there, boys and girls. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.